What's happening, world? Be Marsh Boxing. We back at it. Back at it once again. Controversial decisions. You already know how it goes. This way we go back and score fights. Look at fights that were controversial decisions, you know what I mean? And find out what really happened. As a matter of fact, check out my playlist right here on YouTube. Right here on my channel. Go to Be Marsh Boxing. Check out my playlist. In the playlist category, you will see controversial decisions. I probably got about 30 fights, or maybe over 30, or just about 30 fights that I've covered from all eras, 2000s, 2010s, excuse me, 90s, 80s, 70s. You know what I mean? We cover them all over here, you know? So today we're going back to the summer of 86. Summer of 86, we got the two-time champion in two different weight classes, Hector Macho Camacho. Puerto Rican, but based, really raised, born in Puerto Rico, but raised in Spanish Harlem, New York. Harlem, you know what I mean? And he's undefeated coming into this fight, you know what I'm saying? He's actually the lightweight champion of the world with the WBC title, and he beat Jose Ramirez for the vacated WBC title. All right, for a vacant title. And El Chapo Rosario is a power puncher from Puerto Rico. So these are two Puerto Ricans, but he's actually a native Puerto Rican who lives in Puerto Rico and, is not based in New York, you know what I mean? But Edwin Rosario is also himself, he's a former lightweight champion of the world. I believe the WBA title, or was it WBC? It might have been WBC. Actually, it was WBC. He later on became a WBA champion. But his first world title was WBC when he beat Jose Luis Ramirez on points for the vacant title that was vacated by the great Alexis Arguello. When Arguello went up to 140 pounds, that was a title that Arguello had beat off of Jim Watt, you know what I mean? So El Chapo lost his titles. He got knocked out by Jose Luis Ramirez, I believe, in the fourth round in a rematch. So that's how he lost his world title, you know what I mean? And that's how um, the man Hector Camacho beats Jose Luis Ramirez for the vacant title. All right. Or maybe it wasn't vacant. I'm not too sure, to be honest. But I do know that's how Hector Camacho became a world champion. You know what I mean? When he beat um, Jose Luis Ramirez for the WBC title. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Madison Square Garden. I'm pretty sure it was a packed house full of plenty of Puerto Ricans coming to support their fighters. The whole New York City, I'm sure, was backing either or. Some may have liked Camacho or supporting Camacho. Some may have liked El Chapo Rosario, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, they showed up to support both fighters, you know what I mean? In a classic fight that we still talk about till this day, you know what I'm saying? And Hector Camacho, like I said, he's a two-time champion in two different weight classes. You know what I mean? El Chapo Rosario has only one loss up until this point of his career, and he's trying to become the lightweight champion of the world again. So let's get into it. As you can see right here, round one. It's a good round for Hector Camacho. He's landing some nice straight lefts to the gut. You know what I mean? This is an orthodox versus southpaw matchup with Hector Camacho being the southpaw. You know what I'm saying? And Camacho's throwing the left hand to the gut. He's using his jab, a lot of lateral movement, as you can see. He's going circling to his right, you know what I'm saying? Trying to stay away from Edwin Rosario's patented straight right hand. El Chapo's throwing straight right hands to the stomach, but misses, and he's countered by left hooks by Hector Camacho. Straight left hand behind the jab by Hector snaps Edwin Rosario's head back in this particular round, you know what I mean, in round one. Edwin El Chapo Rosario gets to clinching after he gets caught. You know what I mean? You check it. So round one, I give it to Rosario. Excuse me, I give it to Camacho. Round two was a close round, you know what I mean? El Chapo Rosario catches Hector with a glancing right hand, you know what I mean? Not too much mustard on it because the man Hector Camacho did move his head, you know what I'm saying, and kind of, took the starch off that big power punch by Edwin Rosario, you know what I mean? So Hector Camacho got constant perpetual movement, you know what I mean? And he has a nice combination where he throws a quadruple jab straight to the head and the left hand straight behind that quadruple jab. Snaps the man Hector El Chapo's head back, you know what I mean? It's actually the best punch of the round by Hector and by both fighters. Both guys are jabbing, not both of them not really landing, you know what I mean? Basically just trying to dictate the distance, you know what I mean? But I give a close round two to Camacho. Round three, constant pressure by the man Edwin Rosario, you know what I mean? Rosario's landing his patented power shot, his straight lead right hand, and it got Hector Camacho backing up, you know what I mean? Left hook, straight right hand combination from from Edwin Rosario catches the man Camacho with his chin up in the sky, you know what I mean? Hector's constantly moving to his right to avoid that straight right hand, which is a good tactic, you know what I mean? But a couple body shots, right hooks by Hector, straight right hands to the body by Edwin. It's a close round. But I give that particular round three to El Chapo. Round four, Edwin Rosario El Chapo's cutting the ring off, applying pressure, throwing straight right hands. Hector Camacho's moving and threw a nice, beautiful left uppercut to the body. But Edwin Rosario's pressuring Camacho. And, that constant pressure to me won him the round, you know what I mean? I thought he won round four because of the pressure. And actually, Hector Camacho cuts El Chapo slightly on the nose, you know what I mean? With those straight and the man Hector Camacho is also cut above his left eye, you know what I'm saying, from them straight right hands, you know what I mean? And it's actually the first time that Hector Camacho is cut in his pro career, you know what I'm saying? And you can see he's kind of uncomfortable with it. He's actually keeps pawing at the he keeps pawing at that busted up when his eye got cut, you know what I'm saying? So you could see he's kind of in discomfort, you know what I mean? Yeah, so round five, the infamous round five of the Hector Camacho Edwin El Chapo Rosario saga. Round five um, it looks like that small cut on Hector Camacho's left eye is bothering him. Edwin Rosario notices that, and Edwin throws a beautiful straight right hand. Hector Camacho tries to counter with the right hook but misses, and he gets caught with the mean left hook that hurts Camacho bad. You know what I'm saying? And this straight right hand and left hook that Edwin El Chapo Rosario threw, it didn't even take 1 second. It was real fast, you know what I mean? Straight right hand by Edwin El Chapo Rosario. Camacho tries to counter in between, but El Chapo throws a beautiful left hook before Camacho could even land his punch. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely a, a punch that hurt Camacho very, and he was visibly hurt. You know what I mean? Camacho's now running around the ring like a chicken with his head cut off. You know what I mean? And Edwin Rosario is chasing and he's landing numerous straight right hands. You know what I mean? Big round for the man El Chapo Rosario. You know what I'm saying? That left hook did severe damage to Camacho. In round six, Hector Camacho clears his head, and not because he's doing anything so great. It's because Edwin Rosario is not applying the same kind of pressure he did like in round five where he hurt Camacho. Okay, Camacho clears his head. He's using his lateral movement. He's constantly pumping that jab, trying to keep Rosario off of him. Rosario's stalking, but he's not cutting off the ring effectively. He's barely landing any shots, and he's not using his jab to close the distance and go to work. And Hector Camacho is actually buying time, and he throws a nice left hook to the body and a right hook over the top, and then he throws another four-punch combination, four-punch body shot combination, left, right, left, right, left, right. And at least two of those shots went a little south below the belt, and the referee warns Hector Camacho for a low blow. But personally, I think that was a great round for the man. Hector Camacho coming back from being severely hurt in round five. You know what I mean? So round seven, Hector's pumping the jab. He's using lateral movement per usual, using his quickness, combinations, stepping out of danger. You know what I'm saying? Um, Edwin Rosario stalking, but he's stalking and trying to cut off the ring, but he's not jabbing much. You know what I mean? But he's throwing straight right lead hands. You know what I mean? And especially in the last 30 seconds of round seven, Rosario was trying to steal the round where he was landing numerous straight right hands. You know what I mean? At least three straight right hands. Excuse me, but he wasn't following it up with any kind of combinations. He should have thrown the same combinations that hurt El Chapo. Sorry, Macho Camacho in the fifth. You know what I mean? The straight right hand followed up by a left hook. Round eight, Hector Camacho's winning. Uh, he to me he won round eight because of activity. You know what I mean? He's pumping his jab using his lateral movement, throwing combinations, three punch combination by Hector Camacho. A jab, a left uppercut, and a right hook. I thought that was a nice combo. You know what I mean? Real beautiful punch variation. Referee warns Hector Camacho for hold. You check it. Um, Yeah, he warns Hector Camacho for holding. Now, Edwin has Hector Camacho in the corner and he throws a nice right uppercut. You know what I'm saying? But Hector Camacho counters him right back with a nice straight left uppercut. You know what I mean? So round eight was a good round. Round nine, Hector's using his blistering speed. He stops Edwin Rosario in his tracks and hurts him. You know what I'm saying? With a straight right 1-2 combination. I'm sorry, three punch combination. You know what I'm saying? Right, a straight right hand, and a straight right with the jab, then a left, and a right. You know what I mean? Right uppercut, right to the body. That was a nice combination from Hector Camacho. And I mean, and for every one punch that Edwin Rosario throws, Hector Camacho's throwing two or three combinations right back at him. You know what I mean? Left hook by Hector Camacho punctuated round nine on my card. He won that round. Round 10, Rosario's stalking, but he's not cutting off the ring effectively. He's head hunting and he's neglecting the body. I thought, if he wants to stop all this movement from the man, Hector Camacho, he should have cut off the body rather than just head hunting. You know what I mean? You check it, he was neglecting the body and buying the man a lot of time. You check it to use his lateral movement. You know what I mean? And Camacho's just moving, and throwing three punch combination counters. You know what I'm saying? He's just, styling on the man up until this point. And I think round 11, he got a false sense of security. Again, Rosario's closing the distance by jabbing and throwing body shots. Finally, he's figured out that he should use the body shots to stop this guy's movement. Now Rosario's going to work on the inside using his feints and the left jab and throws a right hand and left hook that hurts Camacho yet again. Visibly hurt. Man got the not so bad spaghetti legs, but you could see his balance is kind of off. You know what I mean? He wasn't just drunken master style. Even in the fifth round when he got rocked, his legs weren't gone from right under him, but you could see he's visibly hurt because he's trying to clinch for dear life. You know what I mean? And that was actually a nice combination from the man El Chapo Rosario, going to work on the inside, using the feint, throwing the left jab, and throw a straight right hand and left hook. You know what I mean? Hector's clinching for the rest of the round, not letting Edwin Rosario let his punches go. You know what I mean? He's visibly hurt, but I give him a great strategy in round 11 for not getting knocked out. You know what I mean? By clinching and having to have the referee separate them every time. You know what I mean? Round 12, Hector's still visibly hurt, you know what I mean? By that combination in the last round from that left hook, straight right hand, left hook combination from El Chapo. El Chapo smells blood. He's going with the straight right hands, left uppercuts. But Hector's clinching, you know what I mean? And it's basically a clinch fest. Nice uppercut by Edwin Rosario. Rosario clearly wins the round. You know what I'm saying? So to me, Rosario wins rounds 11 and 12. You know what I mean? Does his thing with the, you know, winning the championship rounds. So God give him credit, but you gotta give the man Hector Camacho credit as well for, you know, holding his ground and not, not hitting the canvas and clinching even when he was visibly hurt. You know what I'm saying? So in this particular fight, man, I had scored it 7 rounds to 5. I always had thought Camacho won this fight. The reason I did this controversial decisions because some people actually thought that the man El Chapo won the fight. I ain't mad at them, but I thought Camacho won this fight because there were plenty of rounds where the man Rosario's just stalking and not doing much. You know what I mean? Just throwing one punch at a time, and you can't throw one punch at a time with the speed demon like the man Hector Camacho. You know what I mean? So it was actually a split decision. That's what the scorecards were. You know what I mean? I think one judge had it 114, 114. One judge had it 114, 113 for Rosario, and one judge had it 115, 113 for the man, what's his name? Hector Camacho, you know what I mean? So I thought the right man won this fight. You know, some say that Hector Camacho's never been the same ever since this fight. He employed now, after this fight, he employed a running style, running technique, like basically not just, doing too much unnecessary movement. That may be the case, but to me, I seen the second of the fight immediately after he fought El Chapo. He fought Cornelius Boza Edwards, a former champion. You know what I'm saying? At 130 pounds. And, Hector Camacho did his thing. You know what I mean? The man, he stood his ground and was fighting back with Cornelius Boza Edwards, was an action packed fighter. You know what I mean? So I thought the right man won this fight, 7 rounds to 5 on my card. Hector Camacho. Um, Hector Camacho was supposed to fight Livingston Bramble next. Livingston Bramble had just come off a big upset of Ray Boom Boom Mancini. He's even in the crowd, the Ragamuffin ran from the Virgin Islands, Livingston Bramble. I don't know why they didn't get to fight next, because Edwin Rosario got a shot at the WBA title held by Livingston Bramble, and he himself had an upset as well and beat Livingston Bramble to become the WBA lightweight champion of the world. So at that juncture, he's now a two-time champion at the lightweight division, you know what I'm saying, when he beats Livingston Bramble, you know what I mean? So Hector Camacho escaped round 5 and round 11 with his life, you know what I mean? Got rocked bad. And if you know anything about El Chapo Rosario, he's a guy was managed by Jim Jacobs and what's the guy's name? Bill Clayton, the guys who managed Mike Tyson. So they had El Chapo Rosario way before Mike Tyson was a pro, you know what I mean? And they were managing him, I think they did a good job with his career. El Chapo was by nature a counterpuncher, but the guy started wanting to become a more crowd-friendly type of fighter, and that's why he employed a very aggressive style with that straight right hand, which was one of the best straight right hands of the 80s, you know what I mean? And El Chapo was a serious puncher, man. A knockout artist, no question about it, you know what I mean? Up until this juncture, to me, El Chapo had even faced the better competition by the time he met Hector Camacho, you know what I mean? He beat guys like, he'd faced Luis Ramirez twice. He'd even fought a classic fight with the man Howard Davis, you know what I mean? That's also for another controversial decision sooner than later, you know what I mean? So, B Marsh Boxer, leave your thoughts and comments. Let me know what y'all thought about this fight. How did you guys score it? I had it 7-5 for It's Macho time. Hector Camacho, one of my favorite all-time fighters of all time, and that's not why I scored this fight for him. I scored with a clean heart, and I thought that the right man won this fight. B Marsh Boxing, I'm gone. Peace.